Happy Wednesday morning to you, Crosspoint. It's good to be with you via video. It's good to see you. Hope that you're doing well, resting in Jesus and giving Him full control of your mind and your will and your emotions and your body too. So just want to mention a couple things, and then I want to share a couple of thoughts from the book of Leviticus and reference a quote that I got. This Sunday, we'll be having our district superintendent, David Lane. He'll be joining us for the sermon, and so he'll be preaching, and we're also going to tack on an interview at the end. So I do want you to be thinking while he's preaching about questions that you might have, and then lob them up. You can text them to me, and I'll give my phone number out, and then we'll have kind of an interactive session with him. So message and interview from our district superintendent, David Lane. I am actually in the sanctuary here, just another detail. This is the youth had a kind of a Super Bowl party, and so they had 20-something kids, 24 kids, I guess, show up, and we had pizza was donated. One of the parents went out to get the pizza. The drinks were donated, so they had quite a party. But anyway, hopefully we'll have this set up for you on Sunday. I also want to mention one more thing, and this is just by way of education. When we have visitors, I think we're pretty good at connecting with visitors. I just want to encourage us to be discerning and read the body language of visitors. Sometimes if the person is an introvert, they want to get out of Dodge and they want to get out fast. If it's an extrovert, they want to stay and talk and whatnot. And I think we do pretty good at connecting with folks, but I just want to encourage you to kind of hang back and assess if the person is maybe kind of looking for the door. We definitely don't want to keep them from doing that, but let's just use our heads and use discernment in discerning whether we're swarming a visitor or not being friendly at all. So we want to kind of hit that fine balance. So just thought I mentioned it. Actually, I've been meaning to mention that for like a year or more, but I want to toss that out. So 2 verses from the book of Leviticus that I want to share. Leviticus chapter 19. Now, you probably think, as I have often, that the Old Testament is just full of blood and gore and like thou shalts and weird rules and laws. That is actually not the case. Buried in Leviticus here, I'm going to read 2 verses, 17 and 18, Leviticus 19. You shall not hate your brother in your heart, but you shall reason frankly with your neighbor, lest you incur sin because of him. Okay? So don't hate your neighbor, but reason frankly. Be forthright, tell the truth, and share your heart. Don't hold back. Verse 18, you shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. This is Old Testament. So the command to love your neighbor, Moses gave it. And the Israelites would have been growing up with this teaching and with this admonishment. So I just want to put that, it's a really, really good verse. And I really like the part about reason frankly with your neighbor. And the idea is that we do not want to hide our hearts from one another, because that's kind of what we're getting at there, is because to reason frankly is to speak your mind and to speak plainly, so that people know what you're thinking. And if you're upset, to reason and communicate that, or if you have concerns, to communicate that. But when we hold back, we hold our hearts back, we're actually holding a part of ourselves back and defrauding the community of our thoughts and opinions. And it then subtly creates kind of a secrecy culture and a fear culture, because we're kind of afraid of revealing what we really think. And to be honest, sometimes when you do speak up, you might get corrected. You might have someone show you a better way, and that's even better than holding it back. But the idea here of loving your neighbor as yourself, this was law in the Old Testament. But I want to share with you along those lines a quote from Old Testament scholar Bruce Waltke. I've mentioned him before. He's one of probably the premier Old Testament scholar that we have in the United States. He's like in his 90s, I think. He's got some of his materials are available on podcasts. Bruce Waltke, his commentator on Psalms, Proverbs, and Genesis, and some Old Testament literature. But Check this out. Now, this is in connection with what we just read in Leviticus. Now, it's about love. It's about interacting with your neighbor. Listen to this. The righteous are willing to disadvantage themselves to advantage the community. Okay, and you can pause and replay that. I'm going to read it again for you. The righteous are willing to disadvantage themselves to advantage the community. The wicked are willing to disadvantage the community to advantage themselves. End quote. It's pretty incisive, isn't it? That the righteous will take a hit in order to benefit others, and the wicked are willing to give others a hit in order to benefit themselves, which is the opposite of love and the opposite of what that is saying in Leviticus about reasoning frankly with your neighbor and loving your neighbor as yourself. And I read that and I just thought, wow, that's a great way of putting it. And I wonder how often am I dwelling in Summit County or dwelling in Copley, and I'm not thinking about the township so much as I'm just thinking about myself. It's just I need to drive from point A to point B and the good of the community. And I think we can take this in a civil sense. We can take this in a faith community sense. Both, that is so true that the righteous will take a hit to benefit others. So, and likewise, the wicked will hit others in order to benefit themselves. They'll break laws. They'll steal. They'll cheat. Commit fraud, all in an effort to advance themselves. So, anyway, just a couple thoughts from the book of Leviticus and the Old Testament, which I hope perhaps changes your mind a little bit about the value of the Old Testament and some of the laws that were in place there. So let me bless you, Crosspoint. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday. The Lord bless you and keep you. Lord, make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen. Love you, Crosspoint. See you soon.